In the shadows where truth and tales intertwine, we find the thrilling, the chilling, the downright spine-tingling. From the paranormal to the peculiar, every echo has a story. Dare to delve into the unexpected, the unexplained? Brace yourself, for you're about to embark on a journey where fear meets fascination. Stay tuned if you dare, for stories that will make your heart race and your mind ponder. Welcome to the realm of the eerie, the realm of the unknown. And remember, like and subscribe, if you dare. I was home alone when a strange message appeared on my phone screen. It was late. The moon hung high in the sky, casting long, eerie shadows across my living room. The message was cryptic, directing me to a set of coordinates. No mission brief, no case file, just coordinates. This wasn't standard procedure. I'd served in the Army for years and Colonel Myers always followed protocol. But this was completely out of the ordinary. My heart pounded in my chest, but I shook off the unease. I was a soldier and I had a mission to complete. So I prepared myself, pulling on my uniform, lacing up my boots. I grabbed my keys, my phone, and the message with the coordinates. The house was silent as I stepped out into the chilly night. The transport department was my next stop. Little did I know, the evening had only just started to get strange. At the transport department, a phone call changed everything. An unexpected turn of events, a sudden shift in the air. The man at the counter, once reluctant, now had an expression of uncertainty as he hung up the phone. Without another word, he gestured towards Helipad 3. As I boarded the helicopter, I could feel a sense of mystery enveloping the night. The pilot's voice echoed in the cabin. 2 hours and 10 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes to an unknown destination, to an uncertain fate. The rotors whirred to life, cutting through the stillness of the night. Up in the air, the world below seemed tranquil, oblivious to the uncertainty that lay ahead. The city lights faded into a distant blur as we ventured further into the unknown. Questions swirled in my mind, each one darker than the last. Where were we going? Why the sudden secrecy? But I knew better than to voice these thoughts. I glanced at the pilot, his face illuminated by the dim glow of the control panel. He was focused, unfazed by the uncertainty of our journey. I admired his professionalism, his dedication to the mission, but even he couldn't mask the hint of apprehension in his eyes. As the hours passed, the landscape below transformed from a bustling cityscape to a desolate expanse. The bright lights were replaced by a blanket of darkness, punctuated only by the occasional flicker of a distant town. Suddenly, the pilot's voice broke the silence. "We're approaching the coordinates." My heart pounded in my chest as I peered out of the window. Below us lay a solitary facility, a speck of civilization in the heart of Nevada, Texas. As the helicopter descended, I could make out the faint silhouette of a figure waiting for us. A sense of dread washed over me. What awaited me in that facility? What secrets lay within its walls? I could only speculate. 2 hours and 10 minutes later, we touched down in the middle of nowhere. The journey to the unknown had just begun. As I stepped off the helicopter, I was greeted by a chilling wind, a stark reminder of the mystery that lay ahead. The figure approached, his footsteps echoing in the silence of the night. My journey into the heart of the unknown had just begun. I was welcomed by a stern-faced captain and led into a vast building. The air was thick with mystery, and I could feel the gravity of my new mission. This was no ordinary operation. I was about to dive into the world of the unknown. Down the winding corridors, past steel doors and security checkpoints, we descended to level F. There, I was introduced to a man who would become my guide in this new, uncharted territory, Jerry, a cryptozoologist. The room was dimly lit, and as Jerry switched on an overhead projector, the world of cryptids, or as we call them, the unknowns, came to life. Jerry, with a passion that was both fascinating and unnerving, began to unravel the mysteries of these creatures. From the footprints of Bigfoot to the elusive fairies and dwarves. From the chilling howls of werewolves to the haunting presence of witches and wendigos, he covered it all. It was as if he was arming me with a new kind of weapon, knowledge, the known behaviors, the physical attributes, the gaps in our understanding. All of it was to prepare me for what lay ahead. My role, as Jerry explained, was not just to learn but to assist in cataloging these unknowns, to verify what we thought we knew, or to update our records with new information. A weekly rendezvous with Jerry was now on my schedule, a constant reminder of the strange path I had embarked on. As the images of these cryptids flickered on the screen, I found myself sharing my own encounter with a witch in the forest and a woman-turned-beast. Jerry's interest piqued at the witch's ability to disappear at will and her use of an altar for her dark magic. He insisted on visiting the scene of the encounter to gather more intel, collect samples. Despite my apprehensions, I agreed. The safety of daylight was our only shield against the unknown terrors that lurked in the forest. As we prepared to leave, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. Jerry's world was a world of impossibilities, and I was about to become a part of it. I shared my past encounters with a witch, hoping to shed some light on the unknowns. I told Jerry about a chilling experience I had in a dense, eerie forest where I encountered a witch. The woman had been transformed into a terrifying beast, her eyes glinting with an unnatural, malicious light. The witch had a strange ability to vanish at will, and she practiced her dark magic at an altar hidden deep in the woods. Jerry's interest piqued at my story. He leaned forward, his eyes wide with fascination and a hint of dread. He suggested a field trip to the exact spot of my encounter, hoping to gather more intel and possibly collect samples. I was hesitant. The memory of the witch encounter still sent chills down my spine. I tried to dissuade him, but he insisted. "We'll go during daylight," he assured. "It's the safest time." I found his confidence unsettling, but his determination was infectious. I agreed, but not without a heavy sense of foreboding. I could still feel the witch's cold, haunting gaze on me, could still hear her haunting laughter echoing in my ears. But Jerry was undeterred. He was intrigued by the witch's ability to disappear, her use of an altar for her magic. He wanted to see it all for himself. He wanted to understand, to learn, to catalog these unknowns. I couldn't help but feel a sense of dread creeping up on me. The witch was not like any other unknown I had encountered. She was powerful, dangerous, and unpredictable. But Jerry was right. We needed to learn more about her. We needed to understand her powers, her motives, her weaknesses. So with a heavy heart, I found myself preparing for a return to that haunting forest, to the very spot where I had encountered the witch. I had a feeling, a gut instinct, that we were stepping into dangerous territory, that we were playing with fire. Reluctantly, I agreed to return to the scene of the encounter. I had a feeling we were playing with fire. The hike back to the witch's lair was unsettling. Everything was eerily quiet. A sense of dread loomed over us as we approached the cave. The door that I clearly remembered was nowhere to be found. Had I imagined it, or had it simply vanished? As if sensing my confusion, Jerry, armed with a peculiar device, began scanning the rocks. The device hummed and buzzed in his hands, reacting to something unseen. Its sporadic noises broke the silence of the cavern, echoing off the walls, creating an eerie symphony of its own. Jerry moved his device around, its static noise growing louder over specific spots. I recognized these spots. They were where I had seen the table, the chairs, the cauldron. Was it reacting to some residual magic, or perhaps some spectral remnants of the witch's belongings? I questioned Jerry about this strange phenomenon. His response sent chills down my spine. He suggested that witches might have the ability to disappear during the day, or even shift into a different dimension. The thought was mind-boggling. Were we dealing with entities that could manipulate time and space at will? The cave suddenly felt a lot colder. The idea of unseen forces lurking around us, capable of slipping in and out of our reality, was unsettling. Could the witch be observing us from another realm? Or was she simply hidden somewhere, waiting for the night to fall? Jerry continued his work, unperturbed. He meticulously collected samples, each rock, each patch of dirt potentially hiding secrets of the unknown. His dedication was admirable, but I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. The cave, the missing door, Jerry's device, and his theory. It all seemed too surreal. As we left the cave, I found myself questioning everything. Was Jerry just a madman rambling about the impossible? Or were we really onto something? Were we on the verge of uncovering truths that could change our understanding of the world? The thought of witches slipping into different dimensions was overwhelming. Was Jerry insane? Or were we onto something? Back at base, sleep eluded me. The day's revelations echoed in my mind like a haunting melody. Jerry's words, his theories about witches disappearing during the day, it all seemed so far-fetched. Yet, I had witnessed the inexplicable disappearance of the witch's lair. I found myself questioning Jerry's sanity. His talk of cryptids and alternate dimensions was the stuff of science fiction. But then again, wasn't what I had experienced in that forest just as unbelievable? My reality, as I knew it, had been turned on its head. The quiet of the night was punctuated by my restless thoughts. I pondered over the missing door, the static noises from Jerry's device, the vanishing witch. Was it all really possible, or was I losing my grip on reality? As I lay awake, a chilling thought crossed my mind. If witches could disappear, what else was out there that we couldn't see? And so, our tale of the Campfire Horrors comes to an end. Until next time, sleep tight. Before we part ways, dear viewers, remember to stay vigilant. The Campfire Horrors may have been extinguished for now, but the embers of the unknown always remain. As you lay down to sleep tonight, don't forget the lessons from our tale. Safety is but a fleeting moment in a world of unseen. So, if you've enjoyed this journey into the abyss, don't forget to ring that bell and smash that like button. Do it before the thing under your bed decides to pay you a visit. Oh, and keep those night lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the dark. Thank you for embarking on this terrifying adventure with us. Until our paths cross again in another tale of the unknown. Goodbye and sweet dreams, if you can.